My 11-year-old daughter and her friends are a bunch of murder hobos. My daughter is 11 years old and started watching Stranger Things on Netflix a while back because some of the kids in her class were talking about it. After seeing some episodes, she came to me asking what Dungeons & Dragons really was. I am by no means an expert in the game. I've played maybe 4 sessions about 20 years ago. But I explained the basic concept to her and she thought it sounded really cool. I found my old dice and gave them to her to mess around with. Last week she came to me and asked if I could make a story for her and her friends to play. It sounded like a fun idea, so I obliged, and because it was Halloween, even though we don't really celebrate it in my country, I created a small Halloween campaign for the girls. In the interest of time, because they had to be done in an afternoon, and I didn't have the time to browse through the entire rule set, I created simplified character sheets for them, with a bunch of simple predefined skills, and crafted an inventory for each of them with some helpful items to fulfill some of the challenges. I made a PowerPoint with several images to help them visualize what was going on and where they were. I prepared a handwritten scroll with their quest objective on it, burned the edges a bit to give it a cool look. All fun stuff. The quest itself was pretty simple. The town where the girls lived was being cursed for Halloween, and if they didn't lift the curse before midnight, all the townspeople would turn into monsters. In order to prevent this, they needed to gather 3 ingredients from around the town and then go to the center of the haunted forest where a witch would craft a spell that would lift the curse. I had a lot of things prepared, but the one thing I didn't really prepare for was for my daughter and her 3 friends quickly turning into murder hobos. The first ingredient they needed was a bag of candy. So walking around town, they found a kid who just went trick-or-treating. First, they asked him nicely to give over his candy, but well, of course, the kid said no. So I imagined them using some of the gold they had, or maybe be a bit more intimidating, into scaring the kid to give away his candy. So the girl who chose the wizard noticed that I had written under the spells category on her character sheet, Fireball. So quietly she asked if she could burn the kid. All the other kids immediately were like, wait, can she? I told them that they could do whatever they imagined. So they chose to burn the kid and take his candy. My daughter, feeling a little bit of remorse, explained that she took a tiny urn to carry his ashes with her. And well, that set the tone for the rest of the campaign, as I could have never imagined those girls being so evil. The second ingredient was a bottle of wine, so they went to the local tavern and first tried to steal a bottle. When the stealth check failed, they decided to jump the barkeep and kill him to take the bottle of wine. The third ingredient was a dragon's tooth, which they could find in the house of an Orcush warrior on the outskirts of town. My 11-year-old daughter and her friends are a bunch of murder hobos. My daughter is 11 years old and started watching Stranger Things on Netflix a while back because some of the kids in her class were talking about it. After seeing some episodes, she came to me asking what Dungeons & Dragons really was. I am by no means an expert in the game. I've played maybe 4 sessions about 20 years ago, but I explained the basic concept to her and she thought it sounded really cool.